welcome Disney fans. Thank you for joining Team V24 for episode 3 of the Wonders of the World podcast. My name is Kyle, aka 6bits Kyle over on Twitter, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts Chris and Reed. Guys, today we have a special show because it's our first listener list suggestion. This week, @Zounders over on Twitter presents us with a really cool and interesting show topic, and this show topic is: what attractions, resorts, or restaurants would you consider remodeling your Golden Oaks Disney Dream house after? You know what's going to happen, he says, and he's absolutely right. For those of you who don't know what the Golden Oak community is, and basically it's an on-property housing development that Disney has created. It's not like Celebration in the fact that you're going to have a huge town. This is strictly going to be like a development. We're talking $1.8 million homes as a start, huge mansions, beautiful houses. There's a website out there, official one from Disney. Check it out. So I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it, but if you're not, there's a quick little rundown. And of course, people are going to be remodeling some rooms at least, if not maybe even more. And we'll have some ideas, I think, that some people very well could be doing in the future. So if you have the money to be moving into one of these homes, I'm sure you have the money to be remodeling to one of your favorite attractions, resorts, or restaurants, or who knows. You know, it's going to be fun to talk about this list. Really unique one, and I think it shows the diversity of this kind of show, what we can do. Really, there's no limits. I mean, this is a really cool topic, and I'm glad @Zounders reached out to us because it's kind of a cool topic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys have. And we have a bunch of listener lists at the end of the show here, so why don't we jump right in, guys? Chris, why don't you go ahead? Where would you start with remodeling this home?
Yeah, you know what? An attraction that I've always been fond of, and I mentioned this. I think this was in my top 5 attractions from a couple of weeks ago. Splash Mountain. I've always liked it. I've always liked the sounds. I've liked how bright it is, the colors, and all that. So I would like to kind of either remodel a room or the entire house to the Splash Mountain theme. I've always had this idea in my head of. I guess in my mind it kind of looks like an eaves trough or something, and it runs through the entire house, like a second story down to the first, and there's a basement down to there as well. And it's kind of like a flume, and these little logs would go down this flume, and the color, the inside, like the interior, the paint and all that would be scenes from the attraction. The music, the speakers placed strategically all throughout the house and all that stuff. I mean, you could take it as far as saying that the pool could have some sort of water slide in the backyard that has like into the briar patch but into the pool kind of feel to it as well. I've actually thought about that for like years and years and years now, and it's something I would never do to just a normal house, but if I had unlimited money and this would actually work, I would love to do something like that.
Create an actual Splash Mountain through your home and splash it right into a pool.
Yeah.
See, that's what this show is all about. You know, it's about dreaming and what you could do when money's not an object and an option, and you know, you're buying this $1.8 million home. Let's have fun with it, you know? Yeah. And that's awesome. I mean, the music certainly would be one of the big attractions for me with that attraction, you know, that specific attraction, Splash Mountain. So cool idea there. Reed, any thoughts?
Well, I have similar thoughts with other attractions when we get to my point, but that does sound like an interesting concept. It's not one of mine that I have in mind, but obviously definitely would have to have some sort of pool or water slide in that house.
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you going there, Reed, with your first pick?
My first pick would actually take us over to Tomorrowland, and that would be a Space Mountain themed home. My idea would probably be with lights and sounds all over the place. I've seen houses modeled where there's a slide that actually brings you downstairs on top of a set of stairs that goes up. So I think I'd do something almost like the ride having lights and sounds for when you go down the slide and stuff like that. And then different sound effects going off at certain times in the early evening, obviously not while I'm sleeping. I don't want all the music and stuff to go off, but maybe the Starlight Tunnel music to be playing at night and stuff like that to go around and just have maybe some of the queue type theme in the kitchen area and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think this sort of makes my list, and depending on my various selections throughout the top 5 here, I kind of go from overall themes to individual rooms, and I'm gonna take an individual room from Space Mountain, and I'm gonna make almost like a study or a chill room, quote unquote, and make it as the Star Tunnel themed with the music, the lighting, ball crawls. When you walk down those stairs, just before you get to the Star Tunnel, if you look underneath the stairs, all those are is like it looks like a giant ball crawl. I think they're painted black, the balls. I want a giant ball crawl room with the lighting and the music from Star Tunnel. Just hints of blues and dim lighting. And the crazy awesome things as you walk by, the holograms and the 3D spheres as they change as you walk with the space theme. I think it'd be awesome. Really nice, relaxing room. So Reed, I think I would take a little bit from that, absolutely. But that's kind of cool. I like yours, Reed. I didn't really think of that with any of my selections today. Sensors, almost like when you're sliding down the slide, as you said, you trigger the sounds. That's really cool. That'd be interesting. It's just I think the Museum of Science here in Boston, they used to have, or they still do. I don't know. I haven't been in a little while. The steps, as you stepped on each step, it would make a noise like a piano. It'd be kind of cool, something like that. I can envision what you're saying there with the slide. So really cool there. I like that. I like that idea. So yeah, certainly Star Tunnel would make one of my at least rooms in my remodeled house. Chris, what's next on your list?
Let's see. Let's let's stick in the same area. And I thought this would just be kind of cool. I've always liked the attraction for its colors, and the soundtrack's pretty good as well. And this would kind of be the same idea. I thought maybe like maybe not so much a den or a study, but like the basement man cave kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it would be like a Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin themed. So kind of like you got the black lights, the glowing paint on the walls, and you know what? Maybe there's some sort of like a laser tag thing that you could do down there. Like I'm not sure with targets or something, but I've always liked the colors in the attraction and the atmosphere. So I think something like that would be really sweet, especially for a basement or something like that.
Yeah, the lighting I think is key there. You said like black lighting, really bright neon colors, a lot of greens and oranges. Yeah, cool. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. It'd like to be a whole a real life game basically. Mm-hmm. In your basement you could almost have your own moving targets and such.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's a cool idea there. I didn't really take any of that consideration either. It's kind of cool. So Reed, what about you? What do you like in there with the Buzz Lightyear?
Not a big fan of Buzz Lightyear. Not something I'd probably do in my home. I'd probably stick with the like kind of like you had, Kyle, the Star Tunnel, Space Mountain type theme in my home. I think that would probably override needing a Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin in my house. It's a attraction that I don't mind going on, but it's not something I thoroughly enjoy going on. So I can see how it'd be cool to have like maybe a Buzz Lightyear shooting gallery in your basement or something like that, though.
You remember the movie Big with Tom Hanks?
Yeah.
It just seems like that'd be something that was in his like huge apartment or condo, whatever it was he bought there in the city when he had like the basketball games and the big ring where he was boxing with the stuffed animals. It seems like this would be something that Tom Hanks in the movie Big would have had. He would have had a Space Ranger spin game in his house. So yeah, I like that there. But Reed, where are you headed next? Where are you headed to remodel?
What I would like to do with the exterior of the home, sort of, would be to incorporate the Living with the Land ride and have sort of greenhouse to do all the stuff that Disney does in their Living with the Land attraction, all the specialized fruits and vegetables, the Mickey pumpkins that they do. Have a setup like that with all of the same functionality that they show off during the attraction, people to have in my own home.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet, huh? Growing all your fruits and vegetables and everything like that, and mimic it almost like in the same way. Yeah, that's great. Have like a dome or a greenhouse in the backyard. That certainly be beneficial in more ways than one. Certainly return on your investment and be a lot healthier in the same. Yeah, it's a cool idea. I like that idea. Chris, what's your thoughts?
That is pretty cool. I never even thought of that or took that into consideration. But man, that's a wicked concept. Yeah, I love it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of food, my next selection on my list is basically a dining room theme. We're thinking that $1.8 million home, the dining room is going to be pretty good size. So I'm going to go to the Beauty and the Beast Castle and Be Our Guest restaurant and take the ballroom scene and remodel my kitchen after that. Have the beautiful, elegant, furniture and walls, all the decorations, and have the fake snow or the snow falling behind the window like they have there. It'd be really, really cool. I think the colors are nice, like I said, and elegant. I can see the blues and the golds with some red. Nice furniture, nice big dining room table. Nice little theme. I think that really spruce up the dining room, in my opinion.
I like that. I think that's really cool.
Sure. Where are we going next, Reed?
Well, my next attraction would probably actually be remodeling the kitchen, and that would be just lost it.
Yeah, were you going with Ohana or no?
No. I do love Ohana, but it's not exactly what I was picturing as far as a theme for a kitchen.
Who doesn't want an open flame in their kitchen?
Well, we're close. I would actually do in the theme of the Polynesian resort itself. A lot of the atmosphere. I'd like to have something like a waterfall, like they have in the centerpiece. A lot of the Polynesian atmosphere. Maybe something more of like the Tambu Lounge type of setup. Have a nice bar, fully stocked bar with plenty of lapu lapus for Chris. But I don't know if I'd want my stove modeled after that giant flame pit that they have in Ohana. I don't think I could work with that. Even if we're going to like our furthest imagination, I can't imagine myself being like, hey, let me cook on this for a while for all my guests.
Yeah, that's funny. Is that all you have there to add to the kitchen / poly remodel?
Yeah. I mean, I specifically mainly would want the waterfall because that's one of the key centerpieces of the resort, and there's nothing like that in any of the other resorts. That's really an amazing sight to see. So being able to wake up and look at that every morning would be fantastic.
Yeah. Chris, did this make your list in any way?
Maybe not surprisingly, yes, it did.
It made mine as well. So why don't you go ahead?
Yeah, I'm still thinking kind of like the basement man cave, or maybe some sort of kitchen area of having it modeled like the Polynesian resort. I mean, I just love it. I love the decor inside. I like the tropical, the plants that are in there as well. The Hawaiian music is tolerable for a little while anyway, for as long as you be eating in there. But this one would also have some sort of fridge that would keep a bunch of pineapples. Because I like eating pineapples. I can hollow them out and eat them.
Multi-use, multi-purpose.
Exactly. I mean, I could even have a lapu lapu, I suppose.
This is kind of unfair though, Chris, because you're like, this is already half real for you. You already live in sort of a themed exact themed community like this.
That is true. I'm looking at the window right now at a couple of palm trees. I just need a pineapple in one hand, and we can recreate a photo that probably is going to be shared on the Twitter account sometime soon.
Just put on v24radio.com and you're all set. Get the soundtrack and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. So of course, as I said, this makes my list as well. I think it'd be the overall theming instead of just the exact rooms as I've been doing in my last couple picks. But Reed, just like you said, the Great Ceremonial, the entryway with the waterfall. I hope it sticks around. Obviously, there's a ton of rumors going around about there if that's going to be taken out or it's going to stay. Who knows? We'll see in the very near future. Supposedly, there's going to be some heavy refurbishments going on over there in the very near future. But absolutely, the waterfall, I want that as my entryway, exactly as it is there right now today. I think that'd be super, very relaxing.
Yeah.
The waterfall, just the vegetation, everything, as you said, Chris. It's a whole package. The music, Ohana Kitchen. I was kind of hoping that I could hire somebody to cook on it and serve me with skewers, but I think I'm going a little overboard there. But certainly Lapu Lapus playing a factor here. Maybe we could the Tambu Lounge out back by the pool, have a little tiki bar out back. Certainly, I think this would be the overall package. I would definitely strive to remodel my home after the Polynesian Resort, for sure. Reed, number 4, where are we headed?
For my type of man cave location, I would be going with, I think this is one that pretty much is on everybody's list, and understandably why. It's the Haunted Mansion. I would probably have seats or a couch that resembled the Doom buggies. Stairs going down would have the glow-in-the-dark lights that look like footprints, different glow-in-the-dark type of atmosphere on the walls, lighting, maybe have the fortune teller's head floating in the corner. And, of course, can't be a Haunted Mansion room without the stretching paintings.
Every time you walk in, again, you have the sensors, and it just automatically starts stretching, and you hear the spiel. That'd be awesome. That'd be great. Chris, did Haunted Mansion in any way make your list?
Surprisingly not. It didn't. But I really like that concept. You could really freak out people with those pictures and with the eyes that move when they come visit.
Yeah, the Haunted Mansion didn't make my list either. But it's funny with the royal rooms and such that Disney has, made in the last year or so, or 2 years. There was always rumors there about the Haunted Mansion themed rooms. We had the concept art and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They had the Doom buggy beds with
That's right.
the bookshelves and everything like that. They looked really, really cool. Hopefully we'll see that for sure.
Yeah, that was over at was it Port Orleans? They were doing that?
The Caribbean Beach Resort.
Oh, was it Caribbean? Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, well, they have the pirate theme rooms too over there as well. So cool. Yeah. Hope one day maybe we'll see it.
Yeah.
But cool, Chris. Where are you headed now?
This is kind of more of a study or like a quiet room, a reading room, something like that. A computer room, maybe. I was a fan of the Living Seas as it was back then, and I mean it hasn't much changed. But the colors of the old attraction, the blue and the orange, I really liked, and the kind of teal colors of it now. Some sort of room painted those colors. With the Living Seas music, I find we play it on V24 radio all the time, and there's so many tracks. It's really relaxing stuff, and I think when you read a book or you're trying to study or do something, get some work done, sometimes it's hard to have music like your typical rock or pop or something like that going on, even other music from the park. But that stuff the music is so calming and more of a, I don't want to say like a drone, but it's way mellow, and you could actually get stuff done listening to that and shut your eyes. And part of the music is that you hear the waves and you hear the underwater sounds and that. I think it would be really kind of like a peaceful study, a nice quiet place to get away.
Definitely one of the more memorable loops. I agree. I love that, and certainly well themed for a computer room or a study, or in my terms, I said the chill room. That'd be a nice little nice. So I could see you have your lighting with the water, like the shadows in the wall, have like shadows twinkling against the wall. Yeah, for sure. That's really cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. The logo painted on the wall somewhere. I like that old Living Seas logo. Is kind of cool too. So
yeah. Have some. That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to a theater room. I'm gonna build a theater room or remodel one of my rooms to have a movie theater room. And I'm gonna go to a sci-fi diner. Didn't make my list on my last episode for table service restaurants, but I got to give it credit for absolutely having an awesome themed restaurant. And I'm going to take that theme minus the food and make my movie theater. I'm going to bring in some old, nice, beautiful convertibles and make some great, comfortable seating, a massive screen as if you're in a drive-in movie theater as my theater room. Of course, have some popcorn and candy and etc. But I don't need the food here. I got my Ohana kitchen upstairs. It's only a call away if we need some skewers. But I want the convertibles. I want some nice, comfy chairs and a massive screen that with the ceiling painted just like the Sci-Fi Diner. Just you look up and you see the ceilings painted like the sky. It looks like stars. The walls look like the sunset. You see like that Twilight Hour blue, the blue colors on the side of the walls. Just awesome. I want that. I want that room as my theater room. I think it'd be really cool.
I gotta come out your way and visit it if that's what you're doing. I love that. I think that is awesome.
well, thanks. Yeah, absolutely.
It's such a you're right. It's such a unique place to dine, and it could be bright and sunny outside, and you step inside, then it feels like you're outside again. You got the whole nighttime atmosphere, and like the way you describe it, the colors, the decor, the big screen and all that. That would be perfect for something like that. I love it. That's awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Reed, what are we up to, number 5?
Well, I have 2 little ones in my household, so I've got to take them into consideration. So I'd be creating a kids' room, and I'd be going over to Epcot and creating a Spaceship Earth-themed kids' room. My concept would be the door to the room would have the classic Epcot logo on it. And then inside, along the wall, would actually be either paintings or stuff that has like fiber optics that lights up, and it's basically the story that you see going through Spaceship Earth, going all around, and then with a flick of a switch or press of a button, a spotlight kind of shows it, almost like you're going through the attraction with the voiceover and the music and everything else.
Nice.
Minus the smell of room burning, of course.
That's funny. Reed, what's Chris? I'm sorry, Chris. What's your last one on the list?
And I went between a few attractions here, and this would be for some sort of like theater type of room as well, like the one with the big screen and all that. I think I'm going to have to go classic, and this room would be themed after the Muppet Vision and like the Muppet Theater. I've been a Muppet fan. I mean, who hasn't really for years and years now? It would be simply like a room that looks like the theater, and instead of having chairs, it would be like a couple of super nice like couches, but the screen would be basically like a big screen TV, and watch everything on that. I like the old school theaters. We have a couple of them here in Canada, in our city, and I love going inside them. And one of them particularly looks like the Muppet Theater, and then when I go down to the studios, it's like, wow, I'm either back at home or this is the Muppet one. They're so similar. You got the luges and all that, and it's just the decor. I think it's really cool. So it would be like a Muppet themed man cave theater type room.
Yeah, I like that, the balconies and But also, I mean, it's just me and my own personal flair, Chris, if you don't mind. Combine almost the theater with the little waiting room with the pre-show movie. All the stuff that's hanging from the ceiling, incorporate that in the ceiling of the theater. I don't know. Just I'm really going overboard now.
No, that's
Bring all the details into it.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, you're going to have to. You'd have to include Statler and Waldorf in like a little corner of the room making comments.
Yeah, I'm picturing them like sitting up like where they would be, if it's just close to the ceiling or something, even if it's just two stuffed versions of them or something, or just like a voice recording of them or something that would maybe have one of those sensors that you were talking about. And if somebody walks the wrong spot or sits in the wrong spot, they automatically start barking at you or something.
Getting heckled just for entering the room.
Yeah, and you pick up something from the floor and like you just hear Beaker explode something from a different speaker on a different side. Yeah, if it's $1 million home or whatever, these are possibilities. I love it.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. My last one's a little bit of a strange one. It's going to be the Seas with Nemo and Friends themed.
Yeah.
More so in the queue. I don't like the attraction that much, but the queue is one of my favorites, and we'll certainly talk about queues in a future episode. But this particular queue to me is sort of similar to the Tower of Terror, and we talked about that on show number 1, where the actual attraction starts way back out at the queue line. With Nemo and Friends, as you look down on the ground, you progress all the way down to the water. You start out on the boardwalk, you get to the sand, and you get to the water. So I think that'd be kind of cool for me. It'd almost be my pool theme, I think. As you walk out the door, you have your boardwalk, and you go to the sand, and you go into the water of the pool. So it's more just incorporating the details of this particular queue line, because I think it's far, far better than the actual attraction. But I'm not, I'm sure children love it, and I give it credit for the for the Imagineering and the incorporation of the projection screens with the aquarium. But I love the queue line a lot more than the attraction, and the queue line's where I want to bring to my backyard remodel.
I like that. That's awesome, and that's why I kind of did like Under the Sea. I've always loved that theme, or the Living Seas theme. But you're right, that queue is very cool. And you know what? I've never seen a long line for that attraction, so I at times go through it a little bit quick. And but if you take a slow walk through it, you're right. It's awesome. The boardwalk theme, like you're going underwater slowly, and by the end you're under the water. It's cool. That'd be an awesome pool theme. Yeah.
Yeah, the walls in that, the ropes, the queue line, it goes from like ropes to like metal chain linking as you progress into the water. Every little thing about that queue line has awesome detail.
Yeah.
Very, very, it's not over the top with props or anything like that. It's just simple painting and use of colors. I think it's awesome. So yeah, before we wrap up the show, as I said, we do have a lot of listener lists, so we're going to read some of those off, and we can talk about them a little bit, because there's certainly a few of them that did not make our lists. First, I wanted to, give a shout-out to @Zounders over on Twitter. Zounders emailed us at v24wonders@gmail.com and gave us this particular suggestion to do a list on the Golden Oak remodel. Great list, as I said at the beginning of the show. This is kind of a cool thing to show how far we can take this, this idea of doing a list format. We don't have to stick in the parks. We don't have to stick with, an attraction or a restaurant. We can theme it to a home remodel. I think it's a really cool idea, and just shows really where we can go with it, as I said. So thank you for that. If anybody else has any show suggestions, hit us up on Twitter at V24Wonders, or as I said, on Gmail. It's V24Wonders@gmail.com, and we'll respond to you, and we'll certainly get that recorded and play it in a future episode. So I want to first and foremost give Zounders read his list first here. So first one's going to be Pauly. It's Pauly themed with a Jungle Cruise pool. He said basically the main reason for that is he wants to see the backside of water every day.
Nice.
so I love that little homage to the attraction there, Jungle Cruise. It's really cool. Next, Cinderella Castle. And maybe he says, I just want to move the entire castle over to Golden Oak, with that kind of money. Maybe, you might actually be able to stay in the suite, the castle suite, with that kind of money as well. Tom Cruise was able to do it, so. Next, look at this, the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Much like I had my selection, but it looks like he says, I'd like to have wait a minute, I'm sorry. It would be like living in an aquarium. Crush could even be the live-in babysitter. So a little bit like you said there, Chris, with the aquarium theme there.
Yeah.
But that's a cool little thing with the Crush there,
like
the babysitter. Next on his list is the Morocco Pavilion. He wants all-you-can-eat shawarma plates. We talked about Morocco Pavilion last week in the table service credits, the table service restaurant show. Really cool pavilion there, Morocco. I love the theme of that. A really cool pavilion there. And last is the Wilderness Lodge. He wants a stream running through it, and he said, did I mention the stream will have fish for indoor angling? So certainly, Zounders, you got a great sense of humor, and thank you so much for these lists. Wilderness Lodge, I love that. When the lobby there towards the back, as you get to the windows overlooking the pool and the lagoon, you got the bridge there where the stream starts and kind of goes outside and then down to the pool. Really cool, beautiful, beautiful lobby. I love Wilderness Lodge a lot. All right, so we have a bunch more here. We're going to stick with the listener lists. First up is going to be at DVC Nut. And DVC Nut says, Olivia's over at Old Key West. Very simple in a community feel. And I haven't spent a ton of time over at Old Key West, but I've seen many, many pictures, and it's very, it is very simple, as DVC Nut mentioned. Very nautical themed, a lot of don't want to say antiques, but a lot of knickknacks, on the walls, pictures, like little artifacts or whatever you want to call it. Cool, very simple. Caribbean southern vibe. I really like it. Like I said, the nautical theme's going on there, so he would definitely mimic that, and he did confirm that is his home resort. So certainly, DVC Nut, thank you for reaching out to us. Next up is Genie Blue 114. First is Cinderella's Castle. Next is Haunted Mansion. So she likes the royal feel, complete with castle staff, as she can't tarnish her tiara doing her homework. So definitely a little bit of, she wants the royal treatment with the entire staff as well, which I can't blame you. As we said, we're splurging here. We got the money to live there. We can certainly afford a little bit of live-in assistance there. At Disney Wagon says he wants a Figment house complete with the Dreamfinder and the Rainbow Tunnel front porch.
Yeah, I was gonna somehow work the Rainbow Tunnel into one of mine, but I wasn't able to. That's awesome.
Yeah, Reed, what's your feelings here? I know you love Dreamfinder and Figment in general.
As much as I love them, I don't know if I'd want them in my house 24/7. I'd probably end up pulling an Eisner and going, I want him out of my house.
But Disney Wagon, I mean, thank you for that. I love, the throwback of both the Dreamfinder and Rainbow Tunnel. We all miss that. And for those of you who aren't familiar with either of them, go ahead and take a look online. That's what you're missing, unfortunately. Hopefully one day, maybe we'll see one, if not both. But I wouldn't hold my breath. Next is the WDW blog, at the WDW blog. Also likes the castle idea, but would renovate his home to resemble the Tower of Terror. Also would put the Crush and Gusher, that's over at Typhoon Lagoon in the backyard. He notes that every dream home must have a dream pool. So, we definitely had a couple dream pools, and you make a great point there.
Yeah.
Certainly. You can't forget about the backyard. I have to enjoy the backyard, especially down in Florida. You got to have a good pool.
Yeah.
You have to enjoy a little bit of relief in the summer months. And last is Cape Mike 4. Shout out to Cape Mike 4. Shout out to you, and thank you for reaching out to us at v24wonders@gmail.com. Telling us a real cool story about last week's show, Yak and Yeti Restaurant. So thank you for reaching out there. But Cape Mike 4 said he would theme it towards It's a Small World. I hope it's not the music, but he says he certainly likes the bright, colorful pastels with each room, given a different international touch, or one of the several retro looks. And he also says he is inspired by the Carousel of Progress. So a couple offerings there from Cape Mike 4. Like I said, as long as we don't have the music going 24/7, I think there's some potential there with having some cool, different international flavors with each room. You could have it themed to a different culture or different country. Cool idea.
Yeah.
Cool idea. Guys, anything that you want to say about the show or any of the listener lists that we just read?
Sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I just think this is a really unique idea. Like we have so many ideas in our head for this show, but when someone that listens reaches out to us, I just think that is awesome. This was a really unique one to come up with, and kudos to all the listeners who emailed us as well with their responses, because they're pretty unique. Like there's a ton of creative people out there. I'd love to go to each and every one of these and at least see them.
Yeah, and as I think Zounders said at the beginning, people are going to do this. We've seen Haunted Mansion-themed homes in the past.
Yep.
I think it was in Georgia or outside of Atlanta that was on the market a little while ago that was just incredible, really, really well-themed. And I'm sure, if possible, I don't know, once you buy one of these houses on Disney property, I'm sure you're signing your life away. But if you're able to remodel, I'm sure we're going to see some incredible stuff, at least in some of the homes. I mean, you have to have a passion for this if you're certainly purchasing inside the parks, and you have to have a good amount of money. Reed, what were you going to say?
Just the bonus idea that I came up with while you were going off the user lists, and that would be something that I'm amazed none of us thought of and none of the listeners thought of, and that would be a coral reef themed dining room.
Yeah.
that'd be awesome. A ton of upkeep, but again, somebody can come and clean the tank.
There is.
That'd be really sweet. That'd be real sweet. Or even having an entire wall of it. That'd be cool.
Yeah, just like one of those. I mean, it doesn't sound small, but like a 200 or 300 gallon aquarium along one wall or something like that. Something that's a simpler upkeep than having like sea turtles in there. But even if it's just a bunch of little clownfish in there, that would be awesome.
I don't know if either of you guys have been to Bass Pro Shops. There's a Bass Pro Shop sort of nearby me that I've been to a couple times, and they have this massive tank, freshwater tank with various species of fish in there. So it's possible, certainly is possible.
That's cool.
Some massive tanks. To get that going for sure.
Nice.
But guys, before we wrap up the show, I wanted to let everybody know one more time how to get involved and contribute to the podcast. First, once again, follow us on Twitter. It's at V24Wonders, at V24Wonders. Keep an eye out there. We're going to start tweeting out. As you can see, we had a good amount of listener interaction. We love it. We'll certainly be responding to everybody and try to get you on as time allows it. But certainly tweet us. And as you're listening to this show, why don't you go ahead, tweet us. What would you be remodeling your home after if money wasn't an option and you had were fortunate enough to live in Golden Oak? Just be absolutely incredible opportunity for anybody that would be able to do that. So tweet us. What would you do? We gave you a lot of good ideas. I'm sure you have plenty more. We want to hear about it. But also you can reach out to us if Twitter's not your thing, or you want to keep your responses semi-private. Go ahead, v24wonders@gmail.com, v24wonders@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'll certainly check that and respond to you as well. And guys, any last words there?
I just want to remind folks, if you are looking to catch the show, don't forget we air on Mondays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on V24 Radio. And you can also catch us over at Podbean if you just look up V24 Wonders, as well as Twitcher. We are on there as well, and on iTunes.
Yeah, we've gotten around now, so you should be able to find us pretty much everywhere that you would typically find your podcast, as Reed just said. So we'll be tweeting out links and reminding you where to find us, and spread the word. We certainly appreciate it, and the support has been fantastic, and we hope to grow with you guys as well. So as I said, for Reed, Chris, and myself, this has been a proud production of V24 Radio. And until next time, we'll see you real soon.